Welcome, traveler. This is the first episode in our Dungeons and Dragons live stream. It is an episodic drama in which I, Nick, will be your GM. My friend Jericho over here will be playing the main character, Rozenn. This is a dark fantasy, so let's go ahead and get right on into it. Smoke rises in the distance. It billows. It chokes the sky. It would be a calm afternoon otherwise. A man, an elf, stands with his arms crossed by a treetop hut. He stares at this over a canopy that seems as vast as the ocean. A woman, one that's not his wife, stands beside him. There is a couple of 100 years of age between them, and yet their skin both looks flawless. They stand outside of the hut, the main hut of this village, Mythweldath. And inside, several others are talking. What did you call them? A woman asks. A man that doesn't quite look like the rest of them in this hut speaks up. His eyes, a deep brown. They hold a deeper purpose, a more drastic history than the others. They called themselves the Yuan-Ti, he says. Vicious. Snake people. He glances over to his left. A darker-skinned human, not an elf, stands with his arms crossed as he leans against the wall. One eye patch covers his right eye. The affirmation comes in only a single nod. Where did you say they were headed? Another man says, a priest of some sort, the circular symbol of Corellon on his chest. I think, the dark-skinned man speaks up. I think they said it was a place called Gimby's Rest. Send a few scouts out to let them know. Do we know why they're going there? A woman, who has been quiet so far, simply whispers, I know. It has been 2 weeks of travel. But you rest near a river at this particular moment. You and your good friend Dane. Dane is a short, serious little elf, and by elf I mean dwarf, covered in chainmails and leathers. He carries a hammer that, when set upright, matches his height entirely, and yet he holds it like there is absolutely no issue. Birds make themselves known in the distance, singing a song that no one in particular seems to be paying attention to. You wake up with a tent over you, a tent you don't remember pitching.
With a yawn, Rozen opens his eyes, just looking around, still a little fussy from the night before, not even remembering, like you said, pitching the tent. He looks around and quickly goes out. He moves as he fixes his slightly messy brown hair,
The
making
tent.
sure to kind of move his hands around the horns that form a crown around his head, and then move back behind his ears and then forward slightly under them. He curses at the fact that they're there, but then he moves over. He gets out of the tent and covers his eyes from the sun.
Dane kneels to your right. He's packing up a bedroll, the green fabric rolling into his chest as he brings it into him, but at the very last second it uncrumbles and a piece of it just unfurls right out in front of him. Mother of every god known to man. Oh, you're up.
He looks at the tent. I'm guessing that's your handiwork.
No, the Fae came and made a deal with you in your sleep. Of course it's my handiwork.
He would can smile. Well, uh, I am set up at many people, including the elves, so I see why not. They owe me a couple favors.
I'm sure they do, kid. I made it. You pack it up.
I figured.
Yeah.
Thanks. He's gonna move and start unpacking unpacking the tent, lifting the two sticks from each side and then folding the tent itself. What you
Like
found?
always, folding the canvas is a pain in the ass. But eventually, all falls into sloppy place, and you're able to get that leather binding around it. It's not pretty, but it works.
He looks at it over. It's like best work I ever made.
Sure. He picks up the pack, lugs it onto his back. You can hear the heavy provisions, the cans, the water sloshing around in it as he gets it onto the proper point. Well, you ready?
He looks around and nods. Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be. You sure you don't want to go back?
Rozenn, it's been a little over 2 weeks. I think it's a little too late to go back.
And never is too late, you know that.
Ah, shut it, kid. I follow you all the way out here, and you're already trying to get rid of me. You know, Daddy's not going to be there. You don't got to be worried about him meeting me.
What are you talking about? Anybody would be proud of introducing you to anybody of the family members.
Say
Mom
that
knows
to
you.
any of my girlfriends.
I said anybody. Last time I checked, your girlfriends were nobodies.
Could say the same for you, and yet here I am. I guess I'm just attracted to the nameless. Not that. I'm a. Shut up and keep walking. Start walk. Just move.
Fine,
Dane
fine.
starts ahead of you, not even waiting for your response. You can hear the backpack chugging and breaking over the sound of his chainmail chugging and breaking.
After a hearty laugh, he'll catch up. Though his expression is one of worry and mostly concern.
Rose, listen. I know we're almost there, but I don't want you to get your hopes up too high. It's been, what, 11 years? There's no
Close.
way he's still there, or no way that anybody would remember him.
Maybe. Still a chance, though.
The river slowly fades from earshot as you step further within the woods. The birds continue their jaunty little song. The road bends up ahead, curves around some trees. It's an incline, actually. It's at the bend, in the top of this incline, that the two of you stop. It's almost like a valley that stretches out in front of you. It is an endless, ocean of trees. They stretch out ahead, but it's past them. Plumes. Plumes of dark, black smoke rise in some obscene distance. They grow together, overtake the clouds, and threaten you from a distance. Dane looks out, mouth hanging open. What in the hells is that?
Looking up from whatever trance that Rosen was in, he looks up over at the columns of smoke and watches. Either they're having a festival or there's a lot of fires there. Almost by instinct, he draws his mace from his side.
Comfort and still. Somewhere out there, Dane says as he turns away and continues along the dirt path, finding comfort himself amongst the tree line as it returns to you and the midday sun peeks between them. Somewhere out there. Someone's world is ending.
He nods. So we have two choices here then.
Choices.
He
You
says
see
as he-
choices in this?
No, not really. He says as he starts walking towards the town. No, not really at all.
It's far enough that it won't matter. Like I said, someone's world is ending. But it ain't ours.
Yep. Hopefully they have some coins so we can save enough worlds then. Let's go.
Whatever's causing that fire, I don't want to be on the other end of that. You travel for perhaps another hour. The dull, listless forest, the monotonous road, except for the occasional bend or turn, all blends together. It's all the same to you. Not that you're looking for markers, but there are none to be found. Occasionally, the way the sun peeks out changes. It seems to mimic the tree line. Makes sense the more you think about it. Why wouldn't it mimic the tree line? It seems that the river returns as you come back alongside of it. Make a perception check, would you?
My perception is a 1. Well, starting all right. So it's an 8.
With an
I
8,
doubt I see anything.
I'm going to give Dane a perception check as well. Dane has a +1 for this. For a 14. He hears it first. He holds his left hand out.
He stops. Kind of bend these knees a little bit, kind of waiting for a fight.
Dane heard the draw. You hear the grunts. And then the unmistakable flash of metal. Something's going on up front. Up to you, kid. Continue the road or go quietly.
I'm just sneaking up on it, seeing what's going on. Not the first couple we kind of stumbled into.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee this one's gonna pay us.
No. But at least we know what we're going to go against.
Look, you know with all this shit on me. He motions to the backpack and then runs a hand along his chain mail. You know I'm not salty for shit. You take the woods, I'll make a solo approach. Take it through the tree line break off the road, alright?
Sounds fine by me. If you need to leave the backpack, leave it somewhere where you can find it.
Here. He takes it off and puts it in the woods. You hear the same cry, this time a male. Some man shouting out. We'll come back for it in a second.
Alright. Let's go.
Dane carries on down the descending hill as you break off the road for a stealth check.
He's gonna move into the woods and try to quiet his steps as much as possible. So his stealth is a +4. For a 14 total. I'm assuming whatever it is we're sneaking up on them, they're not distracted enough to not be paying attention to anything coming up on them, right?
I will give you a plus on that, sure.
All right.
This does not want to stay down. Interesting. Here, you can go for offset. That's artistic. It's artful. I'm, what's a director? Steven Spielnolan. So I'll go ahead and give you a plus, we'll say like a +3 to that. So why don't you go ahead and re-roll it with full information kept in, and
So
go ahead and
that's-
say the number that you have before the 3.
All right. So it's a before the 3, it's a +4. After would be a +7. So let me re-roll this.
+7, give us a re-roll.
Really?
You know, I'm sorry about that.
He probably stepping on a couple branches.
You get a little further ahead, and you find the source of the struggle. A woman in the center is being attacked by 2 people, and she is doing her best to fend them off. Every blade they throw either misses or clashes against each other, sparks fly out. Even with your 7, I'm going to make them roll for perception. They are locked in combat that may or may not be mortal, but it's mortal combat with a C because I'm not trying to get sued over here. I am rolling for 3 people. And even though I've already given you a bonus of 3, I'm also going to give them a penalty of 3, though I think I gave you a bonus of 4. So here is for the gentleman in the long cloak. You are noticed. For the woman being assailed, you are noticed. And for the gentleman in the back right there, you are noticed completely, though they don't seem to pay attention to you. Blades clash one more time as the woman glances towards Dane. "Help me! Help!" she screams out. "No, don't help her. Cut her down while she stands." They don't seem interested in you as they attack. You see Dane watching with an eyebrow raised. Is he the type of person to get involved? We are going to roll Dane a wisdom check. Dane's wisdom is a +1. At a 13 or higher, we'll say at an 8 or higher, Dane will get involved. But he's not the type to be a hero. Heroes don't live long. He's told you that multiple times.
Did you mean to roll a d20 or a d12?
Was that a d12?
That was a d12.
Okay. Well, then this better still be a low number. No, let's get it out there. 17. Good catch. Dane is indeed going to get himself involved. He takes a few steps closer as the two of them battle. They throw one more slice at each other before he comes in for the strike of disadvantage. Dane receives a +3 to this attack. That one's a 20 for sure. And he nails the man directly in the back. I was supposed to roll 2, but I mean, he hits anyways. And he nails the man directly in the back. He drops one of the swords as he grumbles to the force of the blow, catches him off guard, and pushes him, we'll say, just 1 foot, 5 feet, because it has to be per square, as he stumbles onto all fours, not expecting the blow. What the hell? He glances back, and as he falls and looks towards Dane, the woman lifts the sword in her right hand and brings it down on the back of his head. He goes still as she cuts clean through. It rolls into the bushes, and his open mouth rests at your feet. But he lays deceased. At that moment, while she cuts him down, the man behind her jabs his sword into her back. What is it that you do?
Seeing that he is attacking her and Dane gonna attack one of the pair, Rozenn is gonna move, flanking the other man with, flanking the other man and the woman, and attack him with the mace.
You step in, get the flank, and have your mace at your side.
Alright, so flanking, that's a advantage, so roll twice.
14.
Alright, highest is a 19.
You definitely hit.
Alright, mace is a d6 plus 3. So it's 6 for damage.
6 is just enough. As you strike the man in the back of the knee, he drops down and looks towards you. His weapons drop and his hands raise. Are you going for the kill, or are you just knocking unconscious?
He's going to just knock him unconscious at this point. He's just gonna whack him in the head. And
You hit nail, he drops, his hands come up, waiting for it, about to scream no when you deliver the blow to the top of his head. Blood drops out of his mouth, but instead of falling all the way down, he simply slumps inward. But he's not moving. Did you kill him? The woman turns and asks.
judging that he was trying to kill you, I figured that you wanted to do the honors.
It's not
He's still
about
alive.
honor. It's about survival, and she plunges the blade into the man's head. Unconscious, he makes no noise as she pulls it out, and the body completely slumps downward.
Brutal.
That's actually brutal. She kneels and wipes the blood on his shirt.
Kind of wondering why two people ambushed a woman like yourself. You seem very capable.
Yeah, sure, if that's what you want to call it. Sword on the back, axe at her hip. She walks over and starts checking them down. These people are scouts, she says. Scouts exactly for what? You saw the smoke, right? Hard to miss it. Dane glances out towards the canopy of trees, and he's right. Or she is right. Any break in them reveals a once blue sky getting poisoned by that darkness.
I'm guessing it's an army.
Wait, no, that smoke was a hell of a ways out. It's in multiple directions.
God damn it.
Yes, an army. Right here. Look. She raises the shoulder on one of them. And tattooed on it is a snake eating itself. He's Yuan-Ti. Wait. Like those damn snake people? The ones they keep talking about? This one's not a snake, obviously. They enslave people.
He'll move over to the guy that Dane down, and he's gonna start looking for the same tattoo.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
My perception and investigation are the same, so. Oh, all right. Natural 20 for a 21.
You left just about every piece of clothing on this man, even stealing a peek down at the gonads. You do not spot any sort of Ouroboros on him. That is the name, the official name of the snake that eats itself.
This one doesn't have one. So I'm guessing some sort of.
Maybe he wasn't trusted yet.
He looks him over. He's going to start looking through his pockets to see what he finds.
You search through the man. You find one piece of gold, the two swords that he was using, and an iron key.
Interesting. He'll pocket the iron key, and he'll flip the gold coin towards Dane.
Does Dane catch it? We're gonna roll that. Because, you know, when somebody gets tossed something or they throw it themselves, they don't always catch it. I'm not salty, okay? I'm not.
No, of course not.
So we're going to give him a sleight of hand. Seems like the right one for it. He has a -1. I would say 10's enough to catch it. And as it flips towards him, he's like, it's real. Are you two headed towards Gimby's rest? He asks.
We are, yeah. How about yourself?
I am. It might be safer for us to travel together. I think there are more scouts out here. They seem to be looking for something.
Or someone. He looks at her then Dane.
Is there somebody out here we should be worried about?
He shrugs his head. He's like, you can't really tell what they're looking for. Just hope it's not you. Meaning any of us. He'll stand up and put away his mace.
They got no reason to go looking for me. I just stumbled upon their camp. And they don't seem keen on taking survivors. Prisoners, maybe. But I'd die before I joined them. She walks onto the road. He speaks over her back. I'm Brianna. People just call me Bree. You two coming?
He'll stand up and look over at Dane and kind of.
This stage has got a hell of a lot better.
Good, didn't it? Let's go. He will start walking, trying to catch up with Brianna. She's right up your alley.
But does she hear you? She has a +2 for that. Did you say something? No, not at all. We were just hoping we don't run into any more snake people. Are you sure they're actually like the Yuan-Ti snake people and not just people calling themselves that? You know, mercenaries. They get a few jobs under their belt and they want to call themselves something crazy, and it's not like that. Serpents are real.
The only thing I've heard about the Yuan-Ti is just rumors. He'll look around as they continue walking. I guess those rumors come from somewhere.
You know, I haven't seen any of the Yuan-Ti, those people like that. We've been on the road for 2 weeks. You're lucky. But in truth, I haven't seen them until today. You just hear they're stalking the woods. Kinda like that mythical thing that looks like a person but is covered in fur. Big face. I've heard of him.
Big face.
Yeah, he's got a big face. What else is there to explain about it?
Must be a relative of yours.
No, there's something else that's big. It's
Yeah, your
ego,
feet.
by the way. I don't talk like that in front of women. Sure. What I don't.
Sure you don't.
The river grows louder, because now you are no longer following it. The tree line retreats, and you find yourself in front of that river. A small shack waits to the left, and a massive wooden bridge stretches out ahead of it. Large enough for 2 wagons to pass each other. As you approach, someone walks out. Surprisingly enough, it is another dwarf. This fellow has bright red hair and a thick red beard that he doesn't seem to take care of. People never seem to take care of their magnificent beards. But he wears chainmail much like Dane, and a cotton shirt beneath it. He holds a knife in his right hand. So here I am, he says, trying to enjoy a brief brunch, shall we say? And to my surprise, here comes 3 little orphans walking out of the woods. Guys, I was trying to have an easy day, so what gives? What brings you to my little mining town?
Rozenn moves over and looks forward towards him. I'm here looking for someone. Someone who may be still working in the mines, I think. So me and my friend here, he points over towards Dane.
Look, I know how it looks with, this and all. I'm the only dwarf here, bud. If you're here looking for another one, we're not looking for a dwarf, Dane says. Then what are you looking for, exactly? A place to stay would help.
That works.
No, not really. Oh, hell. Look. You see it. I see it. Travelers don't just come out here. We're in the middle of nowhere. And unless you've been sent by the company to mine, you don't just come to stay. Now you over there, tall fellow, it's the middle of the damn day. Only burglars and devilmen have their hoods on, so I'm gonna have to ask you to, take it off.
Maybe I am a devil man. All you need to see is my face, my eyes, to know enough that I won't do anything that will detriment your business here. Like I said, I'm looking for a man, a human. Brown hair, brown eyes. Cleric.
Well,
If he's
buddy,
still
first of
alive.
all, I need you to roll a persuasion check for me. Yeah, I know, persuasion from me. Isn't that crazy? We're making changes today.
All right. It is persuasion is a +3. 10.
This man is a +1 to resist it. Or 2. What's this human's name?
His name is Nate.
I don't know no Nate. But being perfectly honest, you want to find out the people who live here, you need to go and talk to Veronica down at HR. First building across the lake to the left. It's not a lake, it's a river. That's an Alan Wake joke. Shout out to my people who have played Alan Wake.
Veronica, you said. All right.
Yeah. She runs the mining operation, has logs and details, and is one of the two people that gets to decide if you stay. So you're looking
Alright.
for people, and she's looking for rest. She with you? Yes, she says. We didn't want to reveal we were looking for Nate in case he didn't want to be found. Sounds like trouble. Look, I got a sandwich waiting for me, so don't give me any shit. Don't cause any shit in town. We cool? You understand me?
We cool. We won't cause any shit.
Welcome to Gimby's Rest. Sodding good it'll do you, though.
Hmm.
He turns back and pushes through the wooden door. Are all of your people like that? That's racist, but yes.
That was my line.
The three of you move over the river. Your boots knock on wood as you cross directly into Gimby's Rest. As you can see on the map directly ahead, the first building to the left is a large wooden ordeal. Good luck finding who you're looking for.
Hopefully you can get some rest. And back to whomever you need to get back to.
Thank you. And with that, Brianna walks off. What is it that you do?
He'll move and walk to the first building on the left. He'll knock first, and then go in.
The door opens up, and you are greeted by a warm fire that stretches from a fireplace to the right. It fills this room with a nice, glowing warmth. The first thing you notice is directly to your left. It almost sets you uneasy. It's a half-orc. A shield rests on the table beside him, along with an axe. Directly ahead of you is a table. Woman in a blue dress, brown hair on the other side of it. And in front of this woman in the blue dress is a man in a sweat-stained white shirt. He has thick brown beard, but the hair on top of it is on top of his head is unkempt and somewhat balding in patches to the front. He covers it up by combing it in all sorts of different configurations. Timothy, this is the third one this month alone. Right, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to keep up with the production. I'm trying to get in there and bring you the jewels, right? They said if we don't, I don't want any excuses, Tim. This one has to come out of your pay. Veronica, you know With little Dalton and the baby on the way, I don't get enough money as it is. No arguments, Tim. I helped you all I can. I'll make do without it. How are you going to mine without a pickaxe? Life is wild sometimes, but life is will. And when there's a will, there's a way. I guess what I'm trying to say is that life finds a way. The man turns around and begins to leave as you and Dane stand by the door. I'm going to give him a quick perception check. At a 6. Oh, sorry. Can I get past you?
Yeah, sure. He'll stand up. He'll not stand up, sorry. He'll stand aside and kind of tap him on the shoulder.
Yes. Thank you. And the man leaves. The half-orc is paying acute attention to you.
He'll turn to the half-orc and then to the woman with the blue dress. As long as it's not a red dress, I'm fine. He'll walk over.
You cross the room and approach. Ah, you are new, I should say. Welcome to Gimby's Rest. I'm going to give her a perception check against this. The check is going to be against a 13 to see if she can catch a glimpse of the hood. She has a +3. That is a 12, saved by the skin of your horns. I wasn't told that we were receiving any new miners at all this entire month.
I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm not here looking for work. I'm here looking for somebody. I was told that you could help us. He'll look around and do a slight bow. Name's Rozenn.
Who's this somebody you're looking for? The half-orc says.
He'll over at that half orc. He goes by Nate. He's a cleric.
Never
Brown
heard
hair,
of him.
brown eyes. I was so afraid of.
I'm sorry to say that we just don't go and give the names of the people that were working here. However, I can comfortably say that no one by the name of Nate works in this village or in our mines. Dane tugs at your pants. Show the letter.
He'll nod as he takes out the most recent letter that he got from his father, opens it up and puts it on the table slowly so she can look at it. He may not be here, but I received this letter about, was it 11 years that Rozenn seen his father, or 11 years that he got the letter from?
It has been over 11 years since you've seen him for sure, but it's been 11 years since that letter came.
Okay. About 11 years ago, he'll look at the letter and look up at Veronica, then at the half-orc. Last known address of this man was here.
Sorry to say that 11 years is longer than any of us have been here. Not longer than Bartrov.
Bartrov.
The guard captain. Bartrov is a busy man, Agrin. Is this a missing persons case, or you just following some sort of cold trail?
A little bit of column A, a lot of column B. He is somebody that I've been looking for still not about 11 years now.
What are you going to do when you find him?
Ask him why he left. Ask him what's been going on. Why he cut contact. You know, the usual.
It's his daddy, Dane says. I'm going to give him a persuasion check at saying that. Dane's persuasion is a +1, really? Ow. He's not charming at all.
He's definitely not charming.
12 is what he's aiming for. But he rolls a 10. And Miss Veronica has no heart. Just Mars. She owns the entirety of Mars. Eat your heart out, Elon Musk. I can take you to him.
I would be much appreciated.
Buddy, you know you doing that voice the whole night's gonna ruin your throat? I know.
Batman.
Come on. You're supposed to be guarding this place. Has anything happened all day, Veronica? With the smoke in the distance, I'll be in town if something goes wrong. And I doubt something will go wrong within the few minutes it takes to get them there. Plus, I don't like strangers in my village. Let's be quick about it.
I'm not. Just point me in the right way.
Agrin leads you out. Where are the two of you coming from?
2 weeks off. Big city.
Plenty of big cities within 2 weeks. We're come from Morden. I see. Haven't been myself. Honestly, you're not missing much.
Even 2 days, I can still smell the shit.
Jericho, can you roll me? This isn't for you. This is for Agrin. Can you roll me a D20?
All right. That is a 17.
With +3, he stops with you right outside of the door. I need you to level with me. Be completely honest. What's a tiefling looking for someone for? Your kind. They have a reputation I can sympathize with.
He'll look over at him, and his expression kind of switches for a little bit surprised, but then nods. No, well, he will be 100% honest. This person I'm looking for is my father. Anybody else, I wouldn't give two shits.
I see. Well, if he was here, Bartrov knew him. He keeps an eye on everybody in this town.
I appreciate you, Erwin. Thank you.
You're welcome. He pushes the door open and guides you in. It closes softly behind you. But of course it echoes. The first thing you catch is an elven woman to your left. She sits at one of the tables reading through a book. Across is a stoic-looking gentleman. He looks like he has no time for your shit or even his own. The type of person that always seems to be in a bad mood. You can see that by, well, the look on his face. But those of you who know him, those of us who know him, know that he really just has resting bitch face. I can sympathize. Welcome, Magica. Good to see you again. Bartrov, what do you got for me? Ruckus? They don't look like Ruckus, the elf says. They're looking for someone. Told them you might be able to help. Step 2, state your name. What are you doing here? I mean, I know you're looking for someone, but I need more details than just, I'm looking for someone.
Rozenn will walk up to the table as he's unfolding the letter again, putting it on the table, facing the captain, Barjo. Name's Rozenn. Come here looking for a man that goes by Nate, cleric. About 11 years ago, he sent a letter from this exact place.
By the looks of it, what did you say your name was?
Rozenn.
By the looks of it, Rozenn, he taps the paper. The man you're looking for wasn't even a minor. He places it on the table. He was a soldier.
Makes sense that he was part of Merc group way back when.
Mercenaries? You didn't say anything about mercenaries.
Well, that has nothing to do with the situation, though. I'm looking for him for personal reasons. Unfortunately, the last letter I've ever received from him was from here, and I was hoping somebody would know either where to point him at or send me in the right direction.
I'm gonna be honest with you, son. I don't think there is a right direction for you. You're chasing a letter that's 10 years old. They didn't tell us where they were going when they left. Those of us that chose to stay weren't told a damn thing.
Information is as good as gold, to be honest, if you don't mind me asking. Who were they?
The mercenary company that was here 10 years ago. They call themselves the Brokers. I didn't know your dad. There were a lot of us back in those days, kid. Brokers kept information away from each other. Only the head honchos were meant to know. Got a lot of us killed, and it didn't sit right with me.
Honestly,
Your dad's probably long buried.
That's what I aim to find out, to be honest.
That road out of town out there, it only leads to the mine. They would have taken the same road you came in, all that time ago. Sorry you wasted your time.
No. Any information is good information, even if it doesn't sit well with me. I just have to keep looking.
Sorry for wasting your time, buddy. You mind if we grab some food for the road? You guys got a tavern? We do. Before the crossroads. It's the first building on the right of the map between you and I. I mean, it's the first building on the right before the bend. Come on, Rozenn. I'll pay for the first round.
Much obliged. He'll nod at Bar Job.
Bar Job?
Bar Job. That's his name, right?
Bar Job is his stripper name. His actual name is Bartrov.
Bartrov.
And you couldn't afford Bar Job, just letting you know that now.
He'll nod at Bartrov, then I grin at the woman. Sorry for
Good luck.
Inconvenience. Thank you. He'll start following. He'll start following Dane over.
You and Dane walk through the dirt road of Gimby's Rest, leaving the main building on the left, heading toward the job that has a bar, or the bar that has a job. You never know how these things go.
I don't know. Times are tough.
Times are tough. That has nothing to do with that, though. That's just always what he's wanted to do. He figured he's about to die, so he's just going to do the job he's always wanted. He dresses for the job that he wants, and that just happens to be assless chaps.
That is canon now.
You move quietly for a moment until Dane speaks. Told you not to get your hopes up.
Yeah, still stings.
I know. Never easy. But you know what I always say. Disappointment is best served cold and at the bottom of the glass.
I thought that your saying was it's the cheaper the better.
Women, not alcohol.
What do you think they're gonna say? Besides, I told you so.
Well, Carver is never going to let you live it down. I want you to know that immediately, but I also want you to know that I'm never going to let you live it down.
I
We
mean,
can
you
cut the sob story bullshit now, right? I told you we shouldn't have come. Just a waste of Moradin's time.
Yeah. I'll make it up to him. I'll make it up to Mom. Carver, on the other hand, well, as long as he pays.
I didn't want to tell you, and I hate to rain down on the day. Guess that much more. But Carver said you're not getting shit for abandoning the mission for this.
That was always in the contract. So, besides, he'll tap on the inside of his leather chest armor. Got a little bit coin left over, so
You push your way into the tavern, to immediately be salted by unnecessary jeer and joy, as people laugh about and enjoy the music that should be playing, but apparently hasn't started yet, probably because it's really quiet. The two of you now stand within the tavern. What is it that you do?
still kind of little buttered. He's gonna go up to the bar, but he's gonna wait for Dane to join him.
And Dane does join you. The man on the other side is a jovial sort, balded long time ago. Well, mostly except for the ring of hair on the back of his head. He refuses to cut it because apparently it makes him look young. The gut at his side says the other ways, and so do the copious amount of bags under his eyes and the liver-spotted skin from too much drinking. But as I say that, he downs another one. Honestly, that's none of my business. Gentlemen! Welcome. It's always great to see some fresh new faces. But first, I need to roll and see if I notice that you're, an abomination and a freak of nature.
I am the abomination of freaking nature, thank you.
I do notice. So, welcome to... Bartrov, know you're here?
He does. He starts thinking. Third person I've met today. Agrin does too, and so does Veronica. I'm just here to get a drink after what I've been through. He'll reach into the pocket in his leather armor on the chest, take out a couple gold pieces and put them on the table. Don't want any trouble, not bringing any. Just want a drink.
Good. We don't do credit. You hear from the opposite corner. Hey! James! Throw another one on my tab and bring it over! Credit to people who don't work for the mine, that is.
I figured. No worries. I'll pay for what I can get, and if I can't, I'll leave.
Then we got an understanding. Welcome to, well, the only bar in town, so I haven't named it. I'm James. What can I get for you?
He'll look over at Dane. Anything you're looking for?
What's the cheapest thing you got? Piss-dried ale. Alright, give me the cheaper than that. Water it down a little bit. Yeah, okay. What about you?
Same thing, but don't water it down.
I'll get it for you in just a second. Don't cause any trouble.
Much obliged.
He turns and heads towards the opposite door. The others around you continue their bubbly and joyous chatter.
He'll look over at the crowd, or all the people that's there as he's turning around, because he's going to grab one of the stools there, sit, and kind of lean on the bar.
Dear God, hashtag bar job.
Yeah. Bar job.
Well, kid, you got 2 weeks to think of your comeback before anything happens. And honestly, who says we need to leave today?
True enough. I think we have enough to get ourselves a room staying the night. Maybe 2. Who knows? How long do you think the job is gonna... Or, let me rephrase that. Their job is gonna last.
Well, they told me they were going to be out there for a month. Here's your drinks. He slams the mugs down in front of you. You want more, just hail me or the bar wench that's around here. She's my wife, but you can just call her the bar wench. It's what I call her. I heard that. I wanted you to hear it.
All right, we'll do. He'll grab his drink. A month, huh?
We have just enough time to get back tomorrow and then go on march.
Yeah. He'll kind of look at the distance as he takes a drink.
What's on your mind, kid?
I don't know, honestly. Just this, what's been going on. About what I'll do if I ever find the bastard.
Well, first we make him pay for every, travel cost, food, beer, wenches, and all of that. We tell him the wenches were part of travel costs. Figured he owes us after this much.
Oh, he owes us double. Especially how he left. Leaving mom like that. I mean, fuck. I don't care if he left me, it's the fact that he left mom.
Cal was probably better off not being on the road, though. Oh, there you two are.
Mm-hmm.
Bree walks up behind you.
Oh, hey. How's your stay going?
Fine. This place is not what I expected, but it's a mess. Did you find who you're looking for?
Nope. When he says that, he just chugs his drink.
I'm sorry.
It was a long shot anyway, so... Oh, this thing had a toenail.
Really? All mine had was a dead roach. Toppings cost you extra!
Like hell it will. Give me another.
Make it 2. Make it 3.
4.
Why do you get 4?
He'll look over around. Just wanted to continue the number, see if anybody baited.
They're not in here, I'm telling you!
Hmm?
You turn around to the sudden exclamation. In fact, it causes everything in here to go dead still. You find the dwarf from earlier, the red-headed one at the door. He's doubled over, breathing heavy. It's just the tavern. You're not supposed to even come through here. He's talking to a woman, taller than everyone else within the room. Deep, we'll say oak brown hair, a blue vest, tight black pants. I told you. She was on lunch, and it doesn't matter. I need somebody. Luckily, the taverns usually have. Stay. Son of a bitch. The door opens up. Closes again. 3 people step in behind her. Agrin, Bartrov, and the woman. Give me a perception check.
Right. Perception check is a +1. Ooh. 20. Dirty 20.
The moment the elven woman, the previously met elven woman, and the new stranger make eye contact, you notice a distinct look of recognition between them. They don't say anything. And other than your brief glance, they don't make it obvious, but you can tell they know each other. What is going on? What is the meaning of this? Bartrop shouts. I'm here to speak to you, Veronica. And you don't get Veronica. You get me. Are you there, Captain? What do you have to say? The Yuan-Ti are coming. What was that? The barkeep shouts from across the room. She said nothing. You crazy saying something like that in public. She's not lying. Brianna speaks up. I was attacked by Yuan-Ti scouts just outside the city. These two saw it. She points to you and Dane. You were attacked by Yuan-Ti scouts and you didn't think to tell me when you were in my office?
He'll put the cup down and look at them. It was two men right outside the gates. How far was it? He's gonna look at Dane.
Half a mile, maybe?
Maybe. Too far to even try to figure out where they came from. And
nobody comes this way just to come this way. You're either coming to Gimby's Rest, the mine, or the mountain range. James, I need your kitchen. I have beef stew going in there. I need your kitchen. Go.
Yeah, not seeing any other choice, Rozenn does join them.
You say the Yuan-Ti are coming. How do you know that? 2 days from this place is my village of Mythwell-Dath. There is no village within 2 days, Agrin says. He's telling the truth, the unnamed elven woman standing behind Bartrop says. I've been there. Any other secrets you're keeping from us? Agrin asks. None that you need to know, the woman replies. Keep going, Bartrop demands from the back. Erin brushes a piece of hair out of her eyes, sticks it behind her sharp ear. My village stands in the way of this horde that's coming. I don't know why. I just know that they're headed directly for this place. This is Gimby's Rest, right? It is. I'm coming to ask for assistance. If you give us soldiers items to defend ourselves, we can prevent them from coming here. We can defend our village and... No, Bartrop says. If a horde is coming over here, we defend ourselves. I'm not giving away men and supplies. There's barely enough of us to defend this place anyways. You, now tell me, you were attacked by scouts outside of the city, or outside of the village. How many were there? He is pointing to Rozenn as he says that. He should be pointing towards the girl, Bree, but you're the main character here.
Long as I could tell, it was 2 scouts. One of them had a tattoo.
What kind of tattoo?
It was a serpent eating itself. The other one didn't have any. Those 2 were attacking, and he points towards Veronica.
Why were they attacking you? I stumbled onto their camp. Can you take us to it? Yes, I can. I don't remember the exact... Can you take us to it? Yes. Were there more than 2 scouts? No. You. He, being Agrin, points to Rozenn to his left. You said you traveled 2 weeks. Did you see any other scouts?
We didn't see anybody in the roads, to be honest. It was calm.
Except for all the smoke that's everyone has been reporting, the little red-headed dwarf says.
To be honest, we saw those coming into town.
They're all over the place, Brianna adds. From what I understand, towns around this place are being hid. Why would they be coming to Gimby's Rest? Give me another perception check.
Right, so perception check is a +1 still. 12.
You don't catch any looks from anyone else in the room as he asked that. If they're coming here, we need to defend ourselves. You can't. As Erin says that, they all look to her. They're like a flood. Our scouts have reported back their numbers. There are thousands. They're gonna sweep across this place. Devour everything, including hope. We'll be starstruck. They'll hit us with such rancor that no one escapes death. They spread across this land like a hex, ruining everything. If you give us what we need, any people you can spare, my people. There are mages. People that can fight. People that can defend. We don't. If we don't work together, if you don't help us defend this place, there'll be nothing left to defend. All of you will be dead by daylight. Shit, someone made that joke in the chat already. At least someone caught it, what I was doing. You fail, Bartroff says. If you fail, our town gets wiped from the map. Why should I spare precious resources when we're gonna need them? Because we have a better chance at this than you do. I'm not giving you anything. The town has to go into full defense. You two, you three, he says, adding Brianna to it. If you're not gonna help us defend, you need to leave. You're in the way. We need help. So do we. You want to help, you can bring your elves to us. They'll burn down our village. We got a lot more to lose. There are children there. You think there aren't here? The answer is no, elf. Return to your people while they're still there. You're insufferable. Erin kicks the door open. It swings shut behind her. And she's gone. You three gonna help or not? Dane looks to you. He tugs on your sleeve to try to get you to come down to his ear level, or so that he can speak to you, like whisper into your ear.
Yeah, he'll look over at Dane and kneel down to him.
This isn't our fight, buddy. Let's get the hell out of here.
It's not. The thing is they're between us and going back to the main city. We'd be caught out in the open.
What, do you want to stay here and catch the full brunt of their wave? I'll stay and fight, Bree says.
Honestly, rebuilding a bridge it's far easier than rebuilding the people that get lost in a fight. This Erin is smart. She'll bring her people here. At least this place is able to defend itself on the bridge, funnel them in.
There are other ways across the water, the unnamed elf says.
There are, yeah.
But all we have to worry about is that bridge here. If they come through other ways, they'll break through the forest. We'll hear them coming. That bridge is the only direct route into Gimby's. We have to burn it down.
Problem is, with burning it down, you are pretty much screwed if you need to use it.
He's right, Bartroff. We'd be funneling ourselves here. We can defend it. Put barricades up. It'll make it easier. It'll be a death trap if they come across it.
Not only that, if somebody's smart enough with traps you can put up around the forest. Hear them coming.
We don't have that many resources. This is a mining village. We're not soldiers and warriors. The few hunters that we do have here have maybe a dozen traps between them.
No, I'm not talking about traps that kill. I'm talking about putting up ropes and cans or something that makes noise. At least to warn us before something is coming through.
I can see that people built that easily.
He'll pinch his nose. Honestly, it would be better if the woman Erin, if she brings her people here, would be more able to defend here. He'll kind of shakes his head, thinking it's a bad idea. If anybody else can convince her otherwise, I think I'll be able to go talk to her about and try to convince her to bring her people here. The more the merrier, I guess. Anything happens, we can always backtrack into the caves.
No, we don't take them into the cave. Bartroff snaps that almost, shoots it out the moment you even say the word cave. They don't get in. We stop them before that happens. You should go and catch her before she leaves, Bree says.
He'll move and start kind of having a quick pace, catching Erin.
You catch up to Erin outside. We'll just say you catch up to Erin as she reaches the bridge. What? Did he change his mind? Are you going to be bringing us things?
No, look, I don't like this plan because either way something's gonna get lost, but hear me out. If you bring your people here, it's a lot more defensible, especially with the river and the woods. You leave your people in your village, they'll be swarmed from all sides. At least from this, we can at least try to figure out where they're coming from.
My village is a tree-top village. Okay? We have the advantage of stealth on our side. We can strike from above, and as they run, the humans that help us can attack from multiple directions. We can pincer them in. If you have them here, she points to the bridge to her left. If they come this way, this is their entrance. You are trapped here.
No, there's other ways. There's always around it, and it at worst comes to worst, we can either push through the bridge, or have everybody back into the cave.
You have no idea how many of them are coming.
No, but I know for a fact that if a fire is set on the base of your tree, everything goes. At least here, things are spread out.
We have
and
magic
we can
to
set
stop
up
that.
defenses.
Give me a perception check.
Right, perception is just double checking. +1. 19.
Behind her, behind the tree line, you guess that it's about 2 days out. A new, growing plume of black smoke pierces the tree line. We have magic to combat this. If you run into the mine, it's dead until they wash into you. What are you looking at?
You said your village was two.
Oh dear, Coraline.
They've already got to it.
She takes off running, full sprint across the bridge.
He'll try to stop her and grab her.
Give me a dexterity check. You are going to be challenging her dexterity check.
Ooh. She probably has better dexterity than I do, so...
It's plus 200?
Ah, shit.
No.
Minus a +2.
Would you be surprised that hers is also a +2? You actually beat the speedy, lanky elf. She takes a step, getting ready to run, and you reach out and you grab her hand. Let me go!
By the time you get there, they'll be surrounded and they will kill you. They're probably on their way here right now.
She
you wanted to have a hostage.
Tries to struggle. They're gonna have more already.
Then there's no reason for you to go there and get yourself in danger. Stay here, at least try to defend it. And then afterwards, we can push forward to there.
But if
at least I can promise you there. Afterwards,
if there are survivors, we have to help him, please. She turns around and grabs your hands. Please, I need you to come with me.
He looks at her and shakes his head.
Rose, what the hell's taking so long? Why is she crying? Dwarf, I need your help. Oh, shit, What is... Oh, Corlon. The others begin slowly funneling out.
By the time you get there, they will capture you and they will use you. Do you want that? If you can promise me that you can get through their ranks and go to your people, then I'll let you go. If not, you have a higher chance of surviving here and then going.
Don't let her go. Bartrov says. She won't make it.
I know, but I'm giving her the choice.
I'm already making the choice. Keep her with you. She doesn't get out. And if she fights, we lock her up. But my people, he pushes through the small growing crowd, puts his hand physically, aggressively on your chest, and tries to force you away. What do you do?
He'll move over to the side and grab her. Being violent is not going to help anybody at the moment.
Shut it! They're dead. You're not. Don't throw your chance of vengeance away. Because they sure as hell wouldn't want you to. Now either we're gonna put you in that cell, or you're gonna take this knife, and you're gonna use it to gut the bastards that took your life from you. Gingerly, she reaches out and takes it. You see that as she takes it, she accidentally cuts him. He says nothing. As she looks at the blade, it trembles in her hand. She nods. Okay. Okay.
When that happens, Rozenn backs up.
Sariel. The before now unnamed elf takes a step forward, hands behind her back. Yes, Bartrop. Tell Veronica to call a town meeting. I need everyone there. Agrin, go and have the mine closed down. Oscar, the dwarf glances over. Take the new guys, get them ready, and I want the three of you with her, he points to Aaron, to start getting supplies to town hall. Every weapon we have in the jailhouse, every supply we need out of the shed, the 4 of you are gonna move it. 5 of you are gonna move it. Oscar's in charge, he points to the red-headed dwarf. I don't want to hear that you gave shit from any of you, right? We're at war now. And you're all soldiers. Well, don't just stand around, fucking move! Yeah. The red-headed dwarf motions to you. Come with me, we'll go. We'll get a cart and get everything together.
Alright. He'll move and join him and look over at Aaron and at Dane.
Your small group stands outside of the jailhouse rockers. I don't think I've ever actually heard the song Jailhouse Rock. Your small group is by the shed in my magic eraser. Oscar has a card out to the side. As he's reaching into the shed, you guys, you say you fought him, right? Out in the woods?
Oh, we just fought 2 scouts.
Humanoid
They were
scouts.
just humans, yeah.
I don't think they had sent any of the actual Yuan-Ti into the area. He glances back as he removes the lock. You, Rozenn, you mind moving the cart so we can start getting shit in the back of it?
Yeah. Let me go get it. She's gonna move over to the cart and pull it.
You set it off to the side, and you take turns loading it with different supplies. You say you're not that kind of dwarf. Oscar turns. He points towards Dane with the key. But you have to have been able to craft something. We don't have a lot of carpenters in town. They can build barricades, but without extra help we can't build enough. If either of you would be willing to help us later, we'd appreciate it.
Honestly, he'll look around. It beats just standing around waiting for something to happen, so might as well. Don't know shit about building, but I'll help it where I can.
Hopefully it'll be enough. Erin shakes her head in the back. It won't be. Everybody within the village is here. They are all shouting, crying, and seriously mad. At the head of this little gathering is the small group associated with Bartrov, including Oscar, who has left you behind. I'm pretty sure one of them is screaming encore, but like this is literally coded to be angry crowd, so I have no idea what that means. Here, let's try this one. See, somebody said something about what's happening, so that's good, right? We need silence, everyone! Nobody stops. Lady said she needs silence! Slowly, the voices die down. Thank you, Bartrov. He nods to her, and Veronica takes a step forward. It has come to my attention that at this particular moment, we are under threat. A major force is headed our way, here to deal untold damage to this village. It is going to be everyone's job to band together. And they begin talking again. Enough! Bartrov shouts. He takes a few steps forward, leaving the pulpit and getting directly into view of everyone else. There is no running, if that's what you're thinking. A horde is coming our direction, and the only chance for survival is standing our ground. Everyone in the village needs to lend a hand, because if you don't, we're all going to be killed by the Yuan-Ti. Murmurs, whispers, but no one dares says a word against Bartrov. I know many of you in this town are miners, who have never picked up a weapon before, but you will need to. There are no other choices here. You know Oscar. The dwarf steps forward. He is going to be in charge of making defenses. If you have any sort of carpentry skills, talk to him. Smithing as well. Any sort of defense training, you come and talk to that man. We need to fortify this village. If you're capable of using magic, Sauriel. She steps forward. She will direct you. The others, speak to me. I will start shipping you, moving you where you need to be. Give me a perception check.
It's a +1. Not much. 5.
You don't catch the hesitation and the brief look that he gives somebody. Instead, he takes a deep breath and goes on. See anyone who I pointed out for work. If you can't find me, speak to Veronica. She'll point you. She has my notes. May the gods watch over us. As people hustle and bustle about, the crowd picks itself back up. It's background chatter between the people trying to all make plans. Go ahead and give me another perception check. You succeed. You hear clearly 3 people arguing. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, a blonde woman says. We run. We can't run, okay? You heard him. The only road out of town is going to lead to us. We're all going to die. Timothy, you are not a fighter. Not. They said I wasn't good enough to be your man either. And he walks away from her. Is new daddy gonna be okay? The little boy beside her says. Yes, new daddy's just stupid. And the two of them walk out. You can tell they are clearly intent on not helping.
The woman was the one that said that she wanted to leave, right?
Yes.
He'll move towards her and kind of say offhand so she can hear. They're already on the way here. The nearest city is about 2 weeks away. They're about 2 days away. They'll catch you out in the open even if you try to sneak over.
Make a persuasion check for me, please.
Alrighty. Persuasion is a +3. 11.
The little boy clings to her side. Mommy? I'm not a fighter and neither is my husband. We didn't sign up to fight in whatever war you're about to have.
He'll look over to her and then over at the little child. You didn't sign up to get slaughtered out in the open either.
Mommy? Who do you think you are? Frightening my child like that. She draws closer in a little fit of rage. I'm going to give her a perception check against 14 on you. But she's in a rage and doesn't see it. But of course, this little kid always sees underneath the superhero hat, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yes, he does. Mommy, he's the devil!
He'll when he says that, Rozenn will smile and try to intimidate her at this point. I can be, but devils don't lie, do they? He'll move closer to her and look into her eyes.
Go ahead and give me an intimidation check before I actually make her respond in some sort of way.
All right. So that's an 8.
Tiefling! She screams out. In that shout, the crowd goes quiet. They glance over to you. The horror music kicks back in. Did she say tiefling? Do we have a tiefling here? What's a tiefling? A short little elf with bushy hair says in the corner. A man with a hat and a long coat gets really, really close to her, sniffs her hair and says, "They're like devil people."
Wow, what a creep.
Okay. He finishes the shrug. Tiefling! Tiefling, that has to be a scout for them! That has to be a scout! People start moving in, and as one person steps closer to you, Dane literally bats him aside. Out of my way! This man is not a scout! He's defending him!
Is, Agrin around?
Agrin stands in the back, watching this.
He'll look over at Agrin and kind of shake his head and then nod. He's gonna take his hood off. I'm with no damn whatever these things are. If I wanted to kill you all, I already have.
Oh, you
but
fucking
I'm not.
idiot, Dane says.
I'm staying here to defend you because my life is also at risk. As long as a couple of my friends of mine too.
He defended me against the Yuan-Ti! Brianna shouts out. Him and his little friend. I trust them. So do I. Dane shouts from the back. Not Dane, Agrin. Me too, Aaron says.
Now, if you were all please, instead of gawking around, we have a town to save. He'll put his hood back on.
How do we know you won't turn on us? How do we know that you're not secretly a Yuan-Ti slave working for them? Enough, Bartrov says, stepping forward. You heard the man. We have a town to save. I don't care if he's a tiefling. I don't care if he's a human, an elf, or if there was one of those stupid-ass kinkus here.
Oh.
You heard that, right? We are going to defend this town, and if he's going to help us, I'm not going to turn away his help. Apologize to him right now, Felicity. Is she intimidated by Bartrov? She has a +5 because of his perk resting bitch face. Take your apology and shove it. Come on. She grabs her kid's hand. Wait, but we need... You didn't even defend me, she says, looking back towards Tim. He stands right in front of you. You didn't even defend me against the devil. What kind of man are you? But I... And the two of them leave the room, the building, and Timothy sags in front of you. And he walks away from you, getting lost in the crowd. Rozenn, come here. Bartrov motions for you to join him in a corner.
Yeah. He'll join him over.
These people are scared and nervous right now. Don't do anything to set them off, because we might not be there to protect you. You're already a stranger to this place, and that makes them distrust you.
Honestly, the mistrust is well placed.
Whatever this is, he motions to the horn. Whatever that is, he points to Agrin. That doesn't matter. Blood doesn't make you. Who you are, we don't get to decide who our parents are. You do right here. and you show them otherwise, and we don't ask questions. But you don't make them ask questions, do you understand?
He'll not looking back at him.
Now go find a way to help out.
All right. I'll get out of people's way. That way there's no more questions.
Good. What is it that you do?
He will... Oh, he doesn't have... So he's gonna go with Oscar. He's the one building the defenses, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's gonna go with Oscar.
Do you go alone? Do you try to seek anybody else?
Honestly, he's gonna try to get Dane, but he's also gonna kind of look around to see what everybody else is doing, especially for Aaron and Veronica.
You see Erin standing with Sariel. Veronica and Bartrov are having a conversation with Agrin.
Seeing that they're busy, he's just gonna go get Dane and start moving.
You know, just throwing this out there, I know we've had you say this when we're on jobs, but when you're trying to convince a town that you're not a demonic asshole, maybe don't say that you could have killed them already. Just throwing that out there. I don't want to get lynched today.
Not today. First time?
It's not a joke, Rozenn.
I know, and
I promised your mom I'd take care of you. And I can't do that if I'm dead, you dumb motherfucker.
You won't be lynched. You'll fine. Besides, they can't lift you to do that either way.
I'm gonna cut off that tail of yours and shove it down your throat. Watch you choke on it. Blood first so you choke on your own juices. And then I'm gonna cook you in a baby lamb's meat. What the fuck is wrong with you? Brianna says to the right.
It's just banter. Don't worry about it.
That sounded serious to me.
Nah, he'll be fine.
Dead serious. Oscar scratches his head. Are these the men which I am to defend Gimby's rest? Come on, we work at midnight. The four of you are taken to a small workshop. Surprisingly, there is only one elf here. There are no elves. The elves were a lie. Okay. We work hard at this. We hammer all these things together. We get the planks of wood. We cut them. We're making barricades, stuff that we can push these people onto or light on fire. You want to help me with these ones? The two of you can help over to the right.
All right.
Bartravo ordered 4 of them. So let's see if we can get them done. To your left, Oscar and Brianna work on one piece. You and Dane are left to the other. Do you even know how to work with wood?
Not in the slightest. Come on, let's go. Let's at least start so we can get yelled at.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I will, hammer in the nails. You just don't mess anything up, man.
You guide me. I'll help.
Do I have to?
No.
Do you
Are we
have
gonna-
proficiency with any sort of tools?
Just the thieves' tools. Unfortunately, not anything else.
You are given the option of cutting the wood pieces into shape, piecing them together, or we'll just say those two. We don't want to make it too complicated.
Since Dane has worked with crafting before, I'm gonna let him start cutting and I'll start piecing them together.
Okay. With you piecing them together, I'm either going to let this be a straight dexterity check or sleight of hands if you have that.
Out of the 2 skills, sleight of hand is the highest, but I do not have it trained, so I'll just use straight up straight up dex.
Okay.
15 total.
You grab a hold of it. Quickly moving one piece into place, you grab the other, and as they fall apart in your hand, you move through, push closer together, and Dane gets really close. He lifts the hammer right in front of your eyes. The fork on the back threatens to strike you. But then he brings it down and all is all right. He hits it a few times, getting it into place until finally you have that trap, one portion of it completed. Can you get the second one? Give me another dexterity check.
All right. Second dexterity, that would be a 16 this time.
You do manage to get it all in together. Congratulations. You don't destroy it. You have made one barricade. I hope you're happy. Oh, nonetheless, you are brought the second barricade.
All right. He'll do the same as before. Not so much this time. That's a 10.
That was what you needed. Can you make the second piece of it?
All right.
Off to the
Ooh.
left, you make the next piece. You have spent several hours making this. The door opens up as you have these 4 barricades nearly completed. And Agrin walks in. They've been spotted, he says. He thinks they'll be here by the morning. We gotta get defenses in place.
Yeah.
If you have any last things you want to do before it's set, what is it that you wish to do after that? You may perform one more assisting action, or you may simply get some rest.
Yeah, he's unable to sleep. He's gonna try to help where he can. So he's gonna look. He's gonna help by setting up the defenses, helping those and going to the bridge or something with Oscar.
I'm about to ask you guys for a cardinal sin, but if everybody can use their imagination during this wonderful game of imagination, and just picture this as another house, give me a perception check.
All right. Perception is +1.
Yeah, it's cut once, measure twice.
16.
I really need one of those worm lights. Or not worm lights, sorry. Thinking back to my Game Boy days. I'm sure that you see these people right there in the corner. We can do another artistic Steven Spielberg lens. There we go. Yeah.
As long as we don't do any dolly zooms.
I don't think I could actually do a dolly zoom with this. I guess I could open up the like the side thing and just force it to zoom as I pull away. But I don't. That's a lot of trouble, and I'm gonna try that at some point. That's just
would be cool, but
that's just one of those stupid things that would be interesting to try, but it's probably not going to look good. Don't look off on the side. She's waiting for her cue. You succeed in hearing them, though. The explosives are set. You pause on the other side of the house. They think they're whispering, but you can hear them. Can't blow the mine. Told you I wouldn't. Soriel, if they get past us, you have to do it. Told you I'll be here on the front. You were the only one that I trust to do it. Strong enough to resist them when they get there. You need me up here. They can't get into the mine, and you know that. They get the shawl. Whatever chance they had of being stopped is gone. Okay. But I'm staying up here. The moment it gets bad, I'll run. You fucking better. Do you try to hide as he leaves from the corner of the house?
Yeah, Rozenn kind of tries to hide on the other side of the house.
Give me a perception. Perception. Give me a stealth check.
All right. He'll try to keep an eye on them to try to figure out who they are before he even does anything. Okay, so stealth is a +4. Nice. 23.
You back away completely because I doubt he's gonna hit this. I'm gonna give him the chance, but there's no. Unless that's a 20. Yeah, I knew it. Bartrov walks off towards the center of town. Sariel crosses. I don't think she's gonna hit it, but we're gonna roll for it. Nope. You spot the both of them going separate ways. Up ahead at the bridge, Agrin, Dane, and Aaron are talking.
Thinking about what they've said, he's gonna walk towards Dane and Agrid.
I figure, Agrin says, we place the 2 of them as a blockade on the bridge and have the others falling back. Deeper into town, we can use them as barricades. Suppose that makes sense. Ah, there you are. Wrong little small character. Man, I guess I'm racist too. Ah, there you are. Where you been,
Hey.
hiding all day? And by all day, I mean like the last, 30 minutes that I haven't seen you.
About that, yeah. You look around. Kind of looking at the barricade. You look over. If we can douse them in something flammable, we can set them on fire. That'll prevent them from trying to climb over, whoever they are.
Problem with that is that if we set them on fire, they're not going to last that long. We can do it as a last-ditch effort, Aaron says.
That or set the not the bridge, but the other side of the barricades on fire too. It'll at least stop them for a moment. Give them give them a moment to back off and think.
I don't think burning our work is a good idea.
No, you're right.
People are setting barricades all throughout the town. Sariel says, trying to act like she nonchalantly walked up from another area. Mages have done their work. And by mages, I mean myself and Aaron. We've tried to set up as best as we can. We still have 2 barricades, though. You made them, Rozenn. And aside from lighting them on fire, where do you think we should place them?
Question. He's gonna look around. Where are we gonna be defending?
We expect them to try to come across the bridge, but there are other ways of getting into the town, primarily from the other side. The road that leads up to Gimby's mine also leads to an old decrepit bridge. We don't know if they know about that.
It'll be a risk sending people out to the bridge and guard it. Because if they don't know about it, they'll just be sitting there. If they do know about it, well, how old is it?
At least a good 6-7 years. They stopped shipping ore out that direction, so it's sealed up and unused. Pretty sure a portion of it came floating through the river a couple weeks ago. Speaking of the river, why don't I hear that?
Well, we kind of have 2 choices about that bridge. Either we can use it as an escape if they don't know about it, or they do know about it. That's how known is that bridge?
It's on all of the maps, Sariel says.
We should probably destroy that bridge. It can always be rebuilt. The more difficult we made it for them to cross the river, the better our chances will be. You said it was made of wood?
Yes.
How keen are you all in keeping that bridge up?
I say we get rid of it. It might be our only escape option. It might be their other way in. There are other places where the river's not as high. They don't know that. You don't know what their scouts have found, Agrin. You're right. But we can't go counting on it.
Yeah, and if we set up any people around those shell embankments, they'll know to use those. So we'll try to keep people away from them. Okay, he'll move over. At least one of the barricades can be put on the other side of that table. And we can use the last barricade to at least cover the retreat to that bridge. In any case, if we get overwhelmed, we can use that bridge. That's, again, assuming they don't know about it. If they do, well,
If they do, we're in trouble. I can get a couple of miners to take it over there.
Would be better than nothing, to be honest. Maybe 1 or 2 people to get stationed there in case something does come through there. They can.
We should keep
outfill
them
back.
all here, Aaron says. We shouldn't put anybody out there. If the 2 of them go and they're killed, we wouldn't know they're coming anyways.
Right.
In fact, we should keep the barricade here with us.
He'll look at Dane. What do you think?
We have 2 entryways and a force of a couple hundred people against what you describe as countless. I think we should have been getting people out of here. If there was even a chance they wouldn't have known about the other entrance, that could have bought us time. You've seen the smokes, Dane, Aaron says. You've seen how fast they took down Mythweldath. And they had mages there. There is no running from this. Then you burn down the other bridge. We don't put any supplies there, we don't put any men. If you guys mean it when you say we can't run, why leave them another option to cleanly get into our village? Even if they can take other portions through the water, that is a lot more inconvenient than coming across a bridge. Shit, you want to do it the real way? The Merc way? You stick a couple of people there, you get some attention, you let the Yuan-Ti get halfway across, and you burn their snake asses to whatever hell's gonna accept them. Can I get an amen? Shut up, I'm trying to work over here.
Precious whenever you think, were they? He's right. If they know about it, they'll know about it, and we can use it against them. Do we have anything flammable? Anything in a barrel? Any oil?
We have a lot of it. We also have alcohol that we can burn. No, we don't! You
Where's the
hear
argon?
the barkeep shout in the distance.
Anything about 40 proof? It burns quite well, if I remember correctly.
Well, we only have his piss shit. It's not going to taste like anything. They don't serve the newcomers the good stuff.
Very good.
This is a mining town. All we have to do here is drink. And I guess mine, but... Sariel shrugs.
Like Dane said, we wait for them to come through, somebody throws something flammable to that barrel, set the entire thing on fire. If not, if they don't come through there, we can always use it on an escape route and then burn it behind us. That's a big if.
I'll see to it that people start dousing it, shall we say. Agrin turns and walks off towards the others, leaving you four standing there. This isn't gonna work. And that is Aaron speaking. You're gonna walk through this place.
Yeah, if they do, when they do, we're gonna give them hell for it. He's gonna look over now. We kill as many of those fuckers as we can.
You make them pay for every person they take with them. And even if we fail. Dane closes his eyes, pinches his lips, and takes a deep breath. Even if we fail, we give the next guy a better chance. You two should get some rest. You as well, Aaron.
Rozenn nods. Yeah. Anybody who's not working should get a little bit of shut-eye.
Is
Or
there
be
anywhere or anyone you talk to, anything you try to do before you head towards the designated sleeping area?
He is going to go to... He's going to go talk to Veronica.
You find Veronica discussing things with Bartrov. The others have moved about, clearing areas. We set up what we can. At this point, just a really, really screwed up waiting game. The calm before, right? Don't quote cliche shit at me before I'm about to die. Rozenn, they told me you succeeded in making the barricades.
He did.
Agrin says you plan to burn down the northern bridge.
He nods. Gives them at least one less way to go through. It's better if they're funneled one way in, two ways, and we're fighting on two fronts. That's half the time that we get to fight.
That could be our only way out.
Could be. Honestly, I thought about it. But it also, if they know about it, is their way in. I think between some of us, we decided to at least station one or two people there. If they know about it, they'll cross through, and then they'll set the bridge on fire. If not, we're more than likely not going to see the plumes of fire there, and if we need to retreat, we retreat. Wait until we're on the other side of that bridge and then set it on fire so they can't.
We can't leave the village. This place is our last stand. I need you here. We can't run.
He'll look at him over and then over at Veronica. I never knew somebody wanted to defend the mine so badly.
Not the mine, the town.
Hmm. He'll think for a moment and then not. Yeah, sorry.
These are my people. We don't just give up on them.
If there is a chance to get the people out of here, would you take it?
Yes, but I heard what you said to Felicity and Dalton. So you know as well as I do, there is no escape. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die on the soil of a land that accepted me, defending the people that look to me as their leader. Not cowering like a mercenary. I gave that up a long time ago.
He'll nod. People say there isn't any honor in mercenary work. It's just coin and the next battle over. Glad that at least a couple people got out of that life. You found something.
Far too many end up in an early grave, unmarked, forgotten, or rotting on a field.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's what's gonna happen to us if we run. Or we'll be in the belly of snake people.
Maybe. It might as well could be.
I have a few more preparations to make. Do you need anything else?
Just wanted to see how you both were doing.
We're all gonna die tomorrow morning. How am I supposed to be doing? At him saying that, Veronica sort of wilts. Perhaps this is the first time she's actually confronting it. Because he's put on a front saying they will defend, they will fight. But him now saying that guaranteed death so blatantly. Though she's heard it from others, though he might have said it offhandedly, now it's sticking to her. Oh dear God, he says.
Rozenn kind of chuckles a little bit. Either we fight or we die, or we fight and we live. Either way, we still have to fight. I'm planning on living, but I'm gonna fight like as if I'm gonna die. Maybe we can war at the next town.
The
But I
next
want
town
one.
is more than a couple of days away. He motions off towards Aaron at the bridge. And you saw how well that worked.
So, kind of hard to have hope right now, but however, there's a lot more potential here than what people think.
You have no idea. Go get some rest. Veronica, we still have a few more placements. A couple bear traps to set out there. I will be there. I'm gonna go see if James has anything left. Don't be long. And Bartrov makes his exit. She stumbles off as well. After they leave, Brianna walks around the house, the barricades as she had been watching from the side. What the hell was that about?
Just banter, I guess.
He didn't strike me as the type to be die for your home loyal.
Same here, but especially for a former merc. However, some people get attached to places.
Yeah, I guess they do. I have guard duty for another hour, so get your rest. I've been told to make sure I wake you for the shift after that, after my second one. See you soon, Rozenn.
All right.
He'll what? Go ahead.
He's moving around. He's actually going to grab his backpack and take one of the rations out, and he's gonna give it to Brianna.
Yes. You know I haven't eaten anything all day, so
I figured.
thank you.
Can't fight on an empty stomach. Trust me, I've tried.
It sounds awful, but I guess she motions around What about this isn't?
I wish it. He's gonna stop mid-sentence and look around, nod, and then, all right, I'll see you after you're.
Wait,
Mhm.
you should leave. You and Dane should leave. You don't have to die for them.
No, I don't. He'll look around and kind of looks around. Especially since my profession, believe it or not, it's a sellsword. I know, charming.
I've met worse sellswords than you.
He'll laugh a little bit. Oh, now I have a reputation to uphold.
This isn't.
He'll
I'm
shake
not
his head.
joking with you. You should leave.
Yeah, he'll kind of look around and loosen his shoulders a little bit, crack his neck. Wouldn't sit well with me, to be quite honest. Been ordered to do that one too many times.
Okay. She walks off, continuing her small patrol, leaving you standing there.
He'll see her off, and then he's gonna walk towards the end.
The inn itself is crowded at the bottom. All manner of blankets have been thrown along the ground, sleeping bags. Those who have had them, others find comfort on hay. Some lean against the wall and try to get their rest. A piece of rope has been tied between two of the columns, and people lean on it, lean on it and try to rest on that rope. Every so often, someone taps him on the shoulder, and that person resting is kicked out to the night to defend and to rest. But it's even deeper in the night when the stored kerosene is poured out, loosened, wasted on the ground. The alcohol is stabbed, and some barricades are ruined. And when morning comes, Brianna is no longer there. We will end there for this week and start the long battle with the Yuan-Ti in next episode. There will be a flood coming, and we will see how these people face it. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope we provided you with some sort of entertainment. And I hope the sound effects weren't super loud this time and I didn't disturb anyone's dog. I would never let that, would never live that down. But we do appreciate it. Next week, on Thursday, we will be having another GM-less RPG focusing more on the stories. Again, audience participation, so feel free to join us for that. If I said Thursday, I meant Friday. And then on Saturday as well, we will be continuing this show, Ouroboros, and we hope to see you there. Until then, we'll be hitting the button so that I didn't have it ready in other worlds.
See you all next Friday. Bye.